Never told. The epic love story that shocked America at 3 a.m. You won't believe what happened. The clock struck 3 in the morning, cutting through the night like a knife. A scream shattered the silence, a sound of pure terror that echoed across sleepy streets and crashed into the brick walls of Hillcrest. Lights flickered nervously, curtains rustled, and behind them, wide eyes strained to catch a glimpse of the chaos unfolding. What could make a whole town freeze in dread? It was the revelation of a love so unexpected, so forbidden, it would echo in the halls of gossip for years to come. In the heart of it all stood Leah, a local girl with a heart made of dreams. Her chest tightened as she watched the fire dance dangerously, illuminating the dark sky in sinister shades of orange and red. Just hours earlier, she had whispered promises to the handsome stranger who had mysteriously appeared in town, a man named Noah, whose eyes held secrets that seemed to whisper of a dark past. They had danced in the moonlight, feeling future hopes unfurl like butterflies, but now, a sense of dread coated the night like a thick fog. Then came the murmurs, a shadowy figure seen slipping into the flames. Whispers said it was no accident. Could love really ignite such passion, spiral into destruction? What had they done? Leah felt a lump grow in her throat, dread creeping in like a thief. She could almost hear the town's collective gasp. The disbelief at finding out that rumors of betrayal were bursting at the seams, threatening to unravel everything. "Did you see him?" one neighbor shouted, looking pale, their fingers shaking like leaves in a storm. The tension was palpable, a thick miasma settling over the crowd as they witnessed history unfolding before their eyes. With every passing moment, the air felt heavier, making hearts race and tempers flare. This wasn't just a simple love story anymore. It was a powder keg waiting to explode. Before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who is part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let us connect. As the fire raged, Leah and Noah found themselves caught between desire and danger, torn in a world where love collided with betrayal. But just as the flames licked higher, illuminating their desperate faces, Noah's dark secrets began to bubble to the surface. The burning doubt reflected in Leah's eyes. Was he really the man she thought she knew? With each crackle of the fire, questions ignited like wildflowers, promising a journey full of twists, each more shocking than the last. What secrets lay beneath the smoldering ruin? And would love be enough to survive the unimaginable wrath that followed? The clock was ticking. Leah stood paralyzed, her breath coming in short gasps, each inhale tinged with the acrid scent of smoke. The fire roared like a beast unleashed, consuming everything in its path. Time seemed to warp around her as she tried to process what was happening. Adam, her childhood friend, stumbled out from the crowd, eyes wide with panic. "Leah, we need to get everyone back," he shouted, his voice strained, cutting through the cacophony. "It's too dangerous." But she couldn't tear her eyes away from the flames, the shadows they cast dancing grotesquely against the backdrop of chaos. Where was Noah? Did he need her? "Leah." Adam grabbed her arm, pulling her toward him. "Come on. We can't stay here." With a sudden jolt, Leah broke free from the grip of her fear. The truth hit her like a tidal wave. It wasn't just a fire. It was a crucible, a reckoning. The whispers in the town had escalated to shouts, and with the embers now crackling wild, she had to confront Noah. Had he really slipped into the fire? Or had the fire become a manifestation of everything they dared not say? Just then, a piercing scream echoed through the night, a woman's voice, raw with fear. Leah's heart skipped a beat as she pivoted toward the sound. It came from the back alley where shadows loomed ominously. Hazards pursued, but her feet moved on instinct, driven by thoughts of Noah and the chaos he was wrapped in. "Leah!" "No!" Adam shouted, but she was already sprinting away. As her heart raced, she could almost hear the fire's pulse, a drumbeat that matched the rhythm of her frantic state. Maybe she was running toward danger. Maybe this was the path to the truth. She rounded the corner and stumbled upon a sight that froze her in place. There, under the flickering glow of the emergency lights, stood Noah, drenched and wild-eyed, staring at the scene unfolding before them. His shirt was torn, and his hands were stained with soot. He looked like he had just emerged from the very flames they were fighting against. "Noah!" she cried, rushing to him. "What happened? Are you okay?" He turned to her slowly, his expression a whirlwind of terror and relief. I tried to help," he gasped, his breath a mist in the chill. "But I didn't mean for this to happen. You have to believe me." Panic surged through Leah. "What do you mean? This isn't just an accident, is it?" Hope flickered, mingling with despair. "Someone did this, didn't they?" Noah hesitated, the weight of unspoken words heavy between them. "There's something I didn't tell you," he finally said, his eyes darting around as if seeking escape. "The past is catching up with me." "I didn't think," before he could finish, a loud crash echoed, followed by sirens weaving through the air. Firefighters arrived, their uniforms bright against the darkness, but the vulnerability they brought only magnified Leah's fear. "Step back," one shouted, directing the crowd. Leah's heart thudded painfully against her ribs. If Noah was connected to this chaos, if betrayal colored their love, was there a way back? Would she even want a way back? As the sirens wailed closer, Leah grasped Noah's arm tightly, trying to anchor them both in the swirling uncertainty. "What did you do, Noah?" His gaze shifted toward the flames, and he whispered, "I need to tell you everything, but not here." The tension froze like the air around them, and Leah realized that the fire was only the beginning. With the town on the brink of judgment, what would happen when they uncovered the reasons behind the chaos? Would their love be enough to face the truth? One thing was clear. They had only scratched the surface of a much darker secret, and it was only a matter of time before it all unraveled. Noah's whisper clutched at Leah's heart like a cold hand tightening its grip. The fire crackled behind them, sending waves of heat that mingled with her rising dread. Adam's frantic voice faded as if the chaos around them collapsed into a singular focus. "Noah," with his secrets threatening to tear them apart. "What do you mean the past is catching up?" Leah demanded, her voice trembling with urgency. The flames danced eagerly behind him, casting eerie shadows on his face, blurring the lines between the boy she loved and the haunted figure before her. Noah stepped back, his eyes darting to the alleyway. "It's not safe here. They're coming, and I need to explain everything before what? Before the fire consumed them?" Leah's mind raced, piecing fragments of their past together with the chaos unfolding now. Did their history intertwine with this inferno? She could almost feel threads suffocating her in webs of doubt. "Leah!" Adam broke into her thoughts, urgency lacing his voice as he gestured toward the throng of people gathering. "We need to go. Now." "No," Leah shouted, locking eyes with Noah. "I'm not leaving until I know the truth." "Please," Noah croaked, desperation flaring in his eyes. "Just trust me." There was something raw in his gaze, a flicker of vulnerability buried beneath the soot and fear. And then the air thickened like a punch in the gut. The darkness of the alley loomed, almost beckoning, as shadows danced at its edges. Leah felt herself being pulled closer to Noah, yet a part of her screamed to run. "What did you do?" "I didn't think it would come to this," his voice cracked, and for a split second, she saw the boy she had grown up with, the boy who made her laugh, breathe, live. "They wanted to use the anger against us." Who are they?" Panic clawed at Leah's throat. Her instincts screamed that this was more than a fire. It was an unholy reckoning. "Noah!" Adam yelled again, fear etched on his face. "The flames are spreading. We have to," but before he could finish, a figure emerged from the gloom at the other end of the alley. Leah squinted through the smoke and flickering light, her heart leaping into her throat. It was a woman covered in soot, eyes glinting like shards of glass. "You think you're safe?" she shouted, her voice a bitter whisper carried by the wind. "None of you are safe. You don't know what the fire wants." Noah stiffened, dread washing over his features. "It's about the past, Leah, all of it." His fingers squeezed hers, as if sharing warmth in the approaching storm. "We need to go. They're looking for me." "They?" Leah echoed, the weight of confusion crashing down. The woman's piercing stare fixed on them, a serpent in the night. A horn blared from the fire truck as it pulled closer, the blaring light revealing more figures behind the woman. Panic surged through Leah. She felt the pull of guilt at abandoning Noah, Yet the anxiety of facing whatever darkness was approaching made her pulse quicken. "Run!" Adam yelled, pulling at Leah's arm just as the woman let out an eerie laughter, cutting through the night, mingling with the sirens. Leah's instincts screamed at her to flee, to follow Adam, but a deeper part longed for answers, for the truth hidden in Noah's haunted eyes. "I can't leave you," she shouted, torn between the smoothing shadows of the past and the deceptive safety of light. "Get out!" Noah cried, his voice laced with a pain so raw it almost brought her to her knees. "You can't stop this." In that moment Leah realized the fire wasn't just consuming the town. It was igniting something deeper, a reckoning for all they had buried. Was it too late for them? Could she still save him? "Leah, we need to go. Now." Adam's voice broke her spiral of thoughts, but as she turned to him, the woman stepped forward, eyes burning with a fierce intensity. "Do you want to know the truth?" she hissed, a lilt of challenge in her voice. "It's hotter than the flames." And just like that, the world around Leah shifted again, leaving her standing on the precipice of an explosive revelation. Would she dare step into the fire for the truth? In that split second, Leah knew the only way forward lay through the very heart of the inferno, both around her and within her. She hesitated, heart pounding, poised between love and fear, when the ground beneath them trembled, stirring with a threat more dangerous than flames. What would happen when the past roared back to life, demanding its reckoning? The tremor beneath Leah's feet jolted her into action. Without thinking, she pulled Noah even closer, desperate to shield him from whatever darkness lay ahead. "We can face this together," she whispered, but doubt gnawed at her heart. The woman stepped further into the flickering light, her features sharpening into focus. Her lips twisted into a sinister smile. "You still don't understand, do you?" she taunted, her voice laced with venom. "The past isn't just your burden, Leah. It's your destiny." Behind Leah, Adam's grip on her arm tightened, a lifeline thrown in a storm. "We have to go," he barked, his eyes scanning the alley, searching for an escape. But Leah felt paralyzed, anchored by the whirlwind of emotions churning inside her. The fire crackling behind them felt like an audience to this moment of reckoning. "Who are you?" Leah challenged, her voice gaining strength as she tried to regain control. "What do you want from us?" The woman chuckled darkly, shaking her head. "What I want doesn't matter. It's what they want that will bury you all. You can't outrun the flames or the truth." Leah's pulse raced. "What truth? Tell me." "Your love," the woman whispered, leaning closer, her breath hot with an eerie familiarity, "is the key. But it can just as easily be the lock that seals your fate. Noah is entwined with the darkness you fear." "No," Adam shouted, pulling Leah back as the fire truck roared closer, the sirens wailing like a banshee. He was ready to flee. "We can't stay here." But Leah felt the weight of Noah's gaze. He was losing himself in the chaos, the shared history that pulled him into shadows she couldn't see. "Noah, what do you mean?" "I wish I could explain," he cried, desperation flooding his voice, pleading to her cognizance. "But we don't have time. Are you going to keep running from your sins?" The woman's voice sliced through the tumult like a blade. "There's nowhere left to hide." Suddenly, the ground jolted again, and this time it felt as if the earth itself wanted to swallow them whole. The flames sputtered, their orange tongues licking higher against the darkening sky. Leah's instincts screamed for her to run. Yet as she looked into Noah's eyes, she saw a storm brewing there, a part of him that still burned with the fire of their connection. It filled her with a trepidation she couldn't ignore. "Noah, please just tell me the truth." "Enough," the woman howled, her eyes narrowing. "This is a game you cannot win. They are coming, and the fire is only a distraction." In an instant, a figure darted from behind a dumpster at the alley's edge. A man, his face obscured by a hood, stepped into the dim light with purpose. Leah's heart raced. "What is happening?" she gasped, but the man simply pointed at Noah, a grim determination etched into his features. "Time's up, kid. You either face the fire or it consumes you whole." His voice was sharp, cutting through the din. Leah felt the walls closing in. The heat of the fire mingled with the urgency of the moment. She was teetering at the edge of something monumental, her every sense screaming to understand. Could their love be the catalyst, or was it tethered to their doom? Adam tugged at her again, eyes wide with panic. "Leah, we can't stay. We have to decide." As the woman's laughter echoed ominously, Leah's mind spun. The lives of those around her hung on a delicate thread between salvation and destruction. Tears brimmed in her eyes, battling with anger and fear. In that moment of hesitation, with flames licking at their heels, Leah knew she stood at a crossroads. Would she step towards the truth, risking everything, or would she choose the safety of silence? The night trembled with her decision, the fire waiting eagerly, yearning for the secrets of the past to be unveiled. What would become of them once the blaze unveiled their hidden pains? As she drew a breath, preparing to take a step forward, the ground trembled once more viciously, this time sending her sprawling into Noah's arms, where the heat felt both familiar and terrifying, and the shadows around them closed in. What other hidden truths awaited her in the flames? The crackling heat intensified, wrapping around Leah and Noah like a suffocating blanket. She could feel panic bubbling in her throat, a molten blend of fear and urgency. Adam's grip on her arm remained firm, but the world around them felt like it was peeling away. Noah, she breathed, we need to move. No. His voice was low, almost a growl, as he tightened his hold around her waist. We can't back away from this. Not now. His eyes glistened, mirroring the blaze and the fear swirling within her. The hooded figure stepped forward, revealing a scar slicing across his cheek, jagged like a lightning bolt. You think running will save you? He spat, voice gravelly, each word weighted by truth. They've been watching you, Leah. You hold the answers they crave. Please just tell us who they are. Leah shouted, desperation lacing her tone. It was a plea as much as a demand. The ones who want to snuff out your fire before it ignites the world, he replied, his gaze darting to the woman behind them, who simply watched with a chilling smile. Don't listen to him. The woman cackled, her laughter echoing cruelly off the alley walls. He wears a mask just like you. Every truth will burn you both. Adam turned to Leah, his expression taut with urgency. We can't stay here. Let us find a way out. Suddenly, another tremor rippled through the ground. This one came with a guttural rumble, like a beast awakening from deep below the earth. Leah staggered, the sound reverberating through her bones, clawing at her sanity. Noah! She cried as she struggled to maintain her balance. He steadied her, but it was as if the ground beneath them had made its intentions clear. It was ready to swallow them whole. Face it. If we flee, it will only lead to the darkness chasing us. This is our moment. Noah was determined, his voice vibrant despite the chaos unraveling around them. Face what? Leah's heart raced. The question hung like a pendulum, teetering on the edge of despair. The truth, Noah declared, his gaze flickering between the woman and Adam. Leah, you need to know that your choices have already set this in motion. They're waiting for you to open that door. A flash of understanding surged through Leah, intertwining with fear. What door? But before Noah could answer, the hooded man growled, you really don't know, do you? The past isn't just a series of choices. It's a chain holding you back. Out of nowhere, the flames grew taller, casting eerie shadows that danced around them, illuminating secrets Leah had buried deep. In that moment, as doubt both clung to her and freed her, she felt time stretch, the echoing truth resonating within. Leah! Adam yelled again, breaking through the ghosts clouding her mind. We have to decide now. She stared helplessly between Noah and Adam, two worlds colliding around her. The fire crackled, filling her ears, urging her forward. But in deciding, she risked tearing them all apart. Make your choice, Leah. The woman taunted, her silhouette flickering in the light of the flames, a spirit of their chaotic past beckoning her. It's either the truth or the flames. Which will you embrace? The chill of the alley air suddenly felt colder than ice, and Leah's chest tightened, the weight of their shared fates pressing her towards a tipping point. Would she dare uncover the festering whispers lurking in the corners of her heart? And just as she opened her mouth to speak, the ground rumbled violently beneath them once more, throwing her to her knees. The shadows enveloped her as she braced for impact, desperately clinging to Noah as everything spiraled into darkness. What awaited her in the abyss, and would she find the light to guide her back? A glimmer of hope flickered, but it was overshadowed by the enveloping night. What awaited them all in the depths of their tangled past? The darkness closed in like a vice, squeezing Leah as she struggled to breathe. The underground tremors throbbed like a heartbeat, chaotic and menacing. Her heart raced faster, automating her fight-or-flight instincts as the shadows whispered and swirled, luring her deeper into the unknown. Leah! Noah's voice cut through the void, a lifeline anchoring her to the present. Hold on to me. His grip felt like a warm fire against the icy grip of the darkness. We can't let it take you. Just as she was about to respond, the ground erupted beneath them, a violent explosion of dirt and fire that shot them upward. She pressed her palms against the floor, but nothing felt solid. Everything was chaos, flames licking at her ankles, shadows clawing at her, the air thick with smoke and heat, and then, as suddenly as they had fallen, they were thrown back into the alley. Leah gasped, pulling her head up from the pavement, coughing as the acrid smoke invaded her lungs. She blinked through tears and saw Adam, his eyes wide, reaching for her. Are you okay? He shouted above the crackling flames. His voice was tinged with concern, but she could see the resolve beneath it. They were still in danger. Keep moving, Noah urged, pulling Leah to her feet. This isn't over yet. His voice was urgent, commanding, pumping adrenaline into her veins. We can't let them trap us. The woman from before seemed to hover in the air, her smile twisting with sadistic delight. Oh, but you don't understand. You're already caught in the web, little firefly. The choice is simple. Embrace the darkness or watch everyone you love burn. Shut up, Adam yelled, pushing past the raging flames that danced too close to their skin. We won't fall for your tricks. No, you're not hearing me. The woman leaned forward, her voice dropping to a whisper that carried haunting notes of truth. It's already begun. They've planted seeds and soon enough they'll bloom. It's not just you, Leah. It's everyone. You think you can escape what's coming? Leah's breath quickened. The shadows stirred, alive and restless around her. The focus everywhere was on her, and for the first time, she felt the weight of responsibility crashing down like a tidal wave. What do you mean? Your past is a ticking time bomb. The hooded figure interjected, stepping forward. The scar on his cheek seemed to shimmer ominously in the firelight. You need to delve into it or there will be a reckoning. Trust me, the more you deny it, the harder it will hit. No. Adam stepped forward, fists clenched, defiance pouring from him. We will find a way out. We'll rewrite the story. Leah started but was cut short. No. Adam's right. We can't face this if we can't understand it. Leah, please. His eyes shone like desperate embers. You must trust me. The flames closed in around them, almost forming a curtain of heat, and Leah felt a pang of betrayal ricochet through her heart. How could she trust him when so much was burning away? Yet somehow the grip of fear was loosening its hold. Perhaps it was time to embrace the truth. The only way out was through. Just then, a new sound rose above the chaos, a low growl, almost a warning. The ground shuddered again, and the walls of the alley began to tremble. Choose Leah. The woman's laugh pealed, echoing like a wicked chime. Will you take the path of the truth? Or will you let the darkness consume you? Her heart thundered in her chest, and Leah raised her chin, feeling the rising heat against her skin. She could no longer evade her own story, her past. Tell us what I need to do, Leah shouted back, her voice fierce, cutting through the noise. But before she could catch her breath, a flash of bright light erupted from the shadows, illuminating the alley in blinding white. Leah shielded her eyes, breath catching in her throat as she felt the world shift beneath her. The noise faded, the flames flickered out, and then silence. What lay on the other side of the light? Did the truth await with open arms or deadly fangs? As Leah stepped closer, the uncertainty gnawed at her insides, gripping her tighter than any fear ever could. Would she emerge stronger? Or would this be the end of everything she cherished? The light enveloped Leah, a blinding, brilliant glow that seemed to mend the cracks in her reality. Her breath caught in her throat as she felt an unnatural pull toward the heart of it. It was as if the light called to her, promising answers, yet wrapped in whispers of danger. Noah's hand remained clasped tightly in hers, its warmth a stark contrast to the unsettling chill creeping in. Stay close, he urged, his voice barely a pin drop above the suffocating silence. Leah squinted through the brightness until she finally discerned the edges of their surroundings. They stood in what appeared to be an otherworldly corridor, its walls shimmering like molten silver. Shadows coiled in the corners, growing restless as they flickered in and out of visibility. Where are we? Adam's voice trembled, And Leah caught a glimpse of the fear shadowing his eyes, the same eyes that had sparked her courage moments earlier. Noah surveyed the space, his brow furrowed in concentration. I don't know, but we can't linger. The longer we stay here, do you really think this is a safe place? The woman's voice sliced through the air, appearing alongside them like a ghost. You're still trapped, my dear children. This light, it's merely a facade. The question is, are you willing to face the truth that lies beneath? Leah swallowed hard, the weight of the woman's words pushing down on her with the intensity of 100 storms. What truth? What do you want from us? She demanded, refusing to bow to the fear slithering through her mind. The truth is that your past doesn't only belong to you. It's a chain linking all souls destined to cross paths. And now it's time to cut those connections or let them suffocate you. Cut the connections? Leah's voice shook. What are you saying? With a sadistic grin, the woman flicked her wrist, and an image erupted in the center of the corridor. It was a series of swirling memories, all depicting moments Leah had hidden deep within. Moments filled with laughter, her first love, then heartbreak. Shadows of anger she had buried, pain spilling over like dark ink across a canvas. Do you see how they intertwine? The woman held her hand out, fingers stretching like claws, drawing the memories closer. You can't escape this, Leah. Is it worth saving those who were never meant to be tied to you? No. Leah shot back, her pulse racing. She could feel the memories clawing their way to her consciousness, forcing her to relive the agony. But in the fabric of those memories, she also found glimpses of joy, the warmth of family, laughter echoing between friends. They matter. They're worth fighting for. Fighting? You misunderstand. The woman stepped closer, shimmering like the silver walls. You must let go to survive. Hold on tight and you will drown. With a scream, Leah reached out to the memories. The light around them pulsed, each heartbeat mirroring her turmoil. Shadows surged, threatening to consume her, wrapping tighter around her throat. Leah! Noah's voice broke through the chaos, filled with a raw urgency. Don't forget, your truth sets you free. In that moment, Leah grasped for a memory, the day her father taught her to ride a bike. The pure joy that enveloped her as she wobbled but didn't fall. It lit a fire within her chest, igniting the courage she needed. No. I won't let you take me. With a sudden rush, Leah pulled the memories towards her. She felt their warmth and pain merge in a single powerful wave. In that instant, clarity pierced through the shadows, revealing something deep within, a source of strength she had long ignored. Face it together. Leah shouted over the chaos, her friends beside her. And then a crack echoed through the air as the light shattered like glass, scattering brightness across the dark expanse, pulling them into swirling uncertainty. As the fragments of light faded, Leah braced herself for whatever lay ahead. The corridor twisted, turning into a vast abyss, beckoning as it whispered secrets long forgotten. What awaited them now was both perilous and profound. Could they navigate this new terrain, this new reality, or was the darkness rising again, ready to consume everything they held dear? The darkness enveloped them, a thick blanket that clung to their skin, suffocating yet strangely familiar. Leah's heart pounded loudly in her chest as she held tightly to Noah and Adam, their fingers interlocking like a lifeline. She could hardly see, her eyes adjusting to the darkness only enough to make out the faint outlines of her friends beside her. Do you hear that? Adam whispered, his voice tight with fear, cutting through the heavy quiet. It was a distant sound, like a low hum vibrating from the depths of the abyss. Leah tilted her head, straining to listen. It was almost rhythmic, a pulse, a heartbeat. We need to move, Noah urged again, his grip on her hand tightening as he began to lead them forward into the unknown. The ground beneath their feet felt unstable, shifting as if it too was alive. Each step sent a ripple through the darkness, as if unseen eyes were watching, waiting. Leah, what do we do? If Adam's voice faltered, his breath hitching as he faltered for words. She saw it, his vulnerability, the cracks threatening to show through his brave facade. We fight, Leah declared fiercely, channeling the fire she had found in that moment of light. We fight for our truth, no matter what comes. Suddenly the hum grew louder, overwhelming them in a cacophony of sound that crashed against their ears. Leah fell to her knees, the intensity of it making her head spin. It echoed memories of loss, fears that haunted her, and whispers of regrets tightly wound. No, she shouted, squeezing her eyes shut against the torrent. We're not falling apart. We will stand together. A blinding flash illuminated the darkness, and just like that, the figures emerged. Their faces twisted in agony and sorrow, shadows that took form, people from her past, faces that had once brought her joy and pain alike. Each one of them carried a fragment of her history, their expressions mingling grief and yearning. Leah, a voice broke through the noise, a soft cry that sent chills down her spine. Leah, it's us. Her breath hitched. It was her younger self, the girl who had once dared to dream. I'm scared, younger Leah said, tears streaming down her cheeks. What do I do? With a surge of determination, Leah got to her feet. You face it. You face it all. It's part of who you are. The shadows shuddered, the figures seeming to grasp her words. But then the darkness shifted, writhing as the shadows flickered and danced around them, threatening to pull them back into despair. Cut the ties. The woman's voice echoed above the chaos, unmistakable and chilling. You don't belong to them anymore. Let them fade and you will be free. No. Leah screamed, the weight of her own past crashing into her like a tidal wave. They are part of me. I will not sacrifice them to your darkness. Her words hung in the air, daring the shadows to challenge her. Noah stepped beside her, a rock of strength. We're more than our past, as painful as it is. We have to embrace it, not run from it. The shadows hesitated, swirling like mist before the light of Leah's conviction. But Leah could feel the pressure mounting, a storm threatening to swallow her whole. Then, through the haze of confusion, something shifted, an undercurrent of hope. Together, she shouted, reaching out for Noah and Adam. We have to fight as one. The three stood back to back, their hearts beating in a shared rhythm. The shadows howled, a furious storm swirling around them, but Leah could feel their strength building, pulsing like energy. Let us show them who we are. Noah yelled, and together they surged toward the encroaching darkness. As they collided with the swirling wind of despair, the abyss trembled, a roar echoing into the void. The shadows writhed, flicking like tongues of fire, resisting yet drawn to the warmth of their unity. But in that critical moment of hope, a whisper arose in the back of Leah's mind, a chilling reminder. What if the truth is worse than you imagined? And as they moved forward, the ground beneath them cracked, a chasm widening beneath their feet, sending them spiraling into the depths of the unknown. What lay waiting at the bottom of that darkness? Would they emerge? Or would they be lost forever? As they plunged into the void, the coldness enveloped them, wrapping around their bodies like icy fingers. Leah couldn't tell if they were falling or simply suspended in time. Time itself felt distorted, stretched and twisted around them, like a never-ending nightmare. The noise of their landing was almost surreal, a dull thud against a ground that felt completely alien. Leah gasped, her heart racing as she tried to catch her breath. The darkness hung thick, almost palpable, but as she blinked her eyes open, shapes began to materialize in the obscurity. We're alive? Adam's voice wavered, filled with disbelief as he struggled to his feet, brushing the dirt from his clothes. Think so, but where are we? Noah said, standing beside him, scanning their surroundings with growing apprehension. The low growl echoed from deeper within the shadows, and Leah froze, her body tensing at the sound. It sent ripples of familiarity through her, a whispered fear, a ghost of a memory. Stay close, she warned, grabbing both of their hands. The three of them formed a tight circle, their breaths mingling in the chilly air. Then, headlights pierced the darkness, illuminating a path ahead. Leah squinted against the brightness, her heart pounding anew. The lights danced erratically, something was moving towards them. What is that? Adam stammered, backing up just a step. She could hear the thumping of her heart against her ribcage. The fear spread like wildfire among them as the source of the light grew closer. It was a figure, faceless and large, with arms extended wide like a creature ready to embrace or devour. Run! Leah screamed, yanking them both away from the approaching dread. They sprinted down a narrow trail that twisted like a serpentine road. The shadows closed in behind them, the growls deepening, hungry and predatory. Leah didn't dare look back. Where do we go? Adam gasped, his breath escaping in frantic bursts. Just keep moving, Noah shouted, his voice a pillar of determination. We'll find a way out. Up ahead, faint glimmers of light broke through the darkness, like stars guiding them home. Hope surged in Leah's chest as she pressed forward. But then the ground trembled beneath their feet, throwing her off balance. She fell hard, hands scraping against the rough, cold earth. Leah! Noah's voice shattered her concentration, and she glanced back to see him reaching for her. I'm fine, she yelled, but her words faded as the shadows surged around them, coiling like a tightening grip. Suddenly a scream erupted, raw and desperate. It wasn't just a sound, it was a cry filled with anguish, echoing against the walls of the abyss. The growling ceased, and an unsettling silence washed over them. What was that? Adam whispered, his eyes wide with terror. I don't know, Leah said, her voice trembling. But we need to keep moving. As they stood at the edge of a dimly illuminated opening, the silhouette of what lay ahead grew clearer, a doorway shrouded in mist and mystery, with tendrils of shadow curling around its frame as if trying to pull it back into the void. Should we? Noah asked, uncertainty flaring in his eyes. This is a chance. We have to face it, Leah urged, her conviction rising like fervor within her. But just then, another scream echoed, more haunting and desperate than the last, reverberating through the shadows and sinking into their hearts. What if it's a trap? Adam stammered, racked with doubt. What if we're just running into more darkness? Leah clenched her jaw, feeling the weight of the moment crash over her. This was more than just a physical trial. Their very souls were entwined in this fight against despair. Together, she shouted, gripping the hands of Noah and Adam tightly. No matter what awaits us, we face it together. With those words they stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the unknown. As the darkness clung to them, they could feel it shift and pulse, alive with an energy all its own. But as hope flickered for a moment, a stranded candle in a storm, a voice pierced through the stillness, a voice that chilled them to the bone. You don't want to be here, and the shadows began to swirl again, pulsating with renewed fury, threatening to consume everything they dared to dream. What lay beyond that doorway? Could they confront the truth? Or was the true terror only beginning? The air was thick with smoke, a choking reminder of the night that had spiraled into chaos. Leah, Noah and Adam stood together, hearts pounding like war drums against the shadows that loomed closer. The scream had haunted them, echoing in the depths of their minds, a warning as old as time itself. But they wouldn't let fear bind their hearts any longer. Not tonight. They burst through the mist, plunging into the light at the end of the tunnel. The brightness enveloped them, swallowing their surroundings whole. Suddenly they were thrust into a stark white room, sterile and cold. The walls hummed with an unsettling energy. Shadows wavered, twisting in strange patterns that flickered when they squinted. Leah took a shaky breath, grounding herself in the presence of her friends. This must be it, Noah murmured, his voice barely breaking the silence. This is where the truth lies. But even as he spoke, doubt crept into Leah's heart. What would the truth cost them? Look at the walls, Adam pointed out, his voice trembling. The surface held reflections of their lives, faces of friends, echoes of laughter, and moments of betrayal caught in time. Each image pulsated, alive with emotions they thought they had transcended. But then a chill swept through the room. The woman reappeared, her smile as sharp as broken glass. Welcome, she said, her tone low and sinister. You thought you could escape, didn't you? But here everything will be laid bare. Every decision, every secret. Your reckoning begins now. No more games. Leah shouted, her voice wrapping around her desperation. We want to know the truth. The real truth. The woman's laughter rang out like a bitter melody. Ah, but truth is subjective, little firefly. What will you lose when you learn it? Who will you become? With each word, Leah felt the walls closing in again, pressuring her with unwelcome memories. But now, with Noah and Adam by her side, something shifted. She could feel their connection, a warmth suffusing her heart, filling the cracks of fear and doubt. I'm not afraid, Leah declared, taking a step forward. Not anymore. I choose to face the truth. Together. Noah and Adam echoed, their unity sparking a firestorm of strength within her. The woman's expression faltered, as if the very essence of their bond threatened to unravel her twisted designs. Very well, she hissed, narrowing her eyes. But understand, there are forces pulling at your strings. There are dark paths wanting to ensnare you. Each of you has a choice to make. To break free or be bound by those who watch, those who crave your pain. At that moment, the images on the walls began to swirl, disorienting flashes pulling at Leah's consciousness. She saw visions of herself as a child, tangled in a web of family struggles. Many times she had wanted to disappear, yet she fought through those emotions to forge her own path. Her path forward snapped into focus. I want to be a prisoner of my past, Leah shouted, defiance shining in her eyes, pushing it all back. I choose to live in the light. In response, the entire room shook. The shadows jerked violently, swirling like a storm unleashed. Leah could feel the energy building, a swell of fury from the depths of her own soul, igniting what felt like a long-buried volcano. The woman's expression turned panicked, her visage contorting as if the truth itself hurt her. What are you doing? She screamed. Together, Leah roared, her spirit intertwined with Noah and Adam's. In an explosion of brilliant light, the kind that trembled with release, they collided into the shadows. Each heartbeat echoed courage, lighting the way toward freedom, and that split second, the barrier shattered. The chaos around them fell away, revealing a vibrant landscape where colors sang and laughter danced. They were no longer in that cold room. They stood on a hill, a valley spread out before them filled with golden sunsets and glistening rivers. Leah breathed in the warmth of freedom. They had won. But just behind them, the woman entered the landscape, fury writ large on her face. This isn't over. You may have escaped tonight, but the shadows will always come for you. As she faded away, Leah turned to Noah and Adam, her heart full of triumph and gratitude. We did it. We faced it together. Noah smiled, pulling her into an embrace. We're stronger than any darkness. Adam nodded, his eyes bright with hope. And we've got each other's backs. Always. Leah looked out over the expanse, knowing that while darkness may linger, love and truth would always light her path. They were finally free. The three friends stood together, breathing in the fresh air that filled their lungs, the promise of a bright future stretching out before them. Leah felt a sense of deep peace. This moment was theirs, and she wouldn't trade it for anything. But it was also just the beginning. As they walked towards that glowing horizon, Leah's heart raced with anticipation. What adventures awaited them now? To all those watching, remember this. Love triumphs in darkness, and together we can face anything. You need to subscribe now, so you don't miss our next exclusive stories. Smash that like button now to feed the algorithm. Flood the comments section with your reactions and theories about the ending. And don't wait even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this conclusion. Stand up, be part of our journey, and embrace the light ahead.